Let's talk about driving ADCs. So there are certain ADCs that require relatively fast driver amplifiers to give you good performance. And if you try to create a circuit that does not have the required amplifier driver, then the tool will tell you, will warn you, hey, look, you're going to run into problems. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to go put in 16 bits in a megasample per second, and that's going to generate this AD4004. And we can see that we get this red triangle over here, and it's saying prior stage is not active. Click for more details. This ADC will need a driver circuit. Be sure to insert an active circuit. So let's go do that. So I'm going to use this ADC. So we can see the problem here is we've got our sensor with a kilo ohm output impedance, and there's no driver here. So one thing we can do is we can just click on this, and it'll give us the same information, and we can say insert a buffer, and then it will pick a nice fast amplifier for us that can easily drive the ADC. You can see that we have 53 megahertz of bandwidth here, and that'll drive that ADC. But let's say I have my own favorite amplifier, and I want to check out and see if my own favorite amplifier can drive the ADC. So I'm going to put in a gain of 1 buffer here, and I know that this default amplifier is actually really slow, so we can see that it's not going to be able to drive. So I'm going to hit use this amplifier, and so this, because it's a low power amplifier, it's going to come up and say, hey, look, this game, it just doesn't have the bandwidth. And so typically any part that's less than a megahertz, you're going to get this message, and then depending on the ADC, you may get the message for parts that are more than a megahertz. So let's go change this, and I could go filter by gain bandwidth and say, hey, I want parts that are greater than a certain gain bandwidth, or I can go in here and say, hey, my favorite part, let's say, is the ADA 4610. So let's see how the ADA 4610 performs. Take that, I'm going to put that in there. I'm not getting any error, so I know that this part can drive this ADC fine. So I'm good to go on this ADC. Now, just to show that it depends on the ADC, I'm going to up the requirements here. So I'm going to, instead of 16-bit resolution, I'm going to change this to 24-bit resolution. And instead of a megahertz, I'm going to change this to 2 megahertz. And so I'm going to change this ADC here that has much stricter requirements, because I have to settle to 24 bits in less time. And you can see it's saying, hey, you know, we got problems here basically. And if we go back to the main screen, we got a bunch of problems. And so we're going to need to go to a faster driver for this. So let me just fix this power supply here. And then I can do the same thing where I just insert a buffer, and now I've got this nice fast amplifier. Looks like even faster than the one that was recommended for the previous circuit, 74 megahertz, and that guy can drive it. Or again, I could go edit and try my own amplifier. I want to let you know about, we have this other tool called the ADC Driver tool. So you can go over here on the right and go to it. And the ADC Driver tool doesn't have as many configurations and as many op amps in it, but the great thing about this tool is it gives you a lot more information on what's going on. Just shows you this distortion plot, shows you the kickback, and so you can learn more about what's going on behind the scenes with this tool. So it's a pretty informative tool to kind of learn about ADC driving. The other thing that I would recommend is these videos in the ADC Driver tool. So we have this really nice series here that really goes into detail and about all the ins and outs about how to drive an ADC. So if you want to know the details behind how all these models are built, go watch these videos. Okay, so that's how we handle ADC driving.